What is up, everybody? Let me turn this down a little bit. There we go. There we go. So, if you did not hear, some crazy news came out about Halo. Most importantly, 343 Industries. 343 Industries had a name change and is now going to be called Hello Studios, or Halo Studios if you're not a foreigner. But I like Hello Studios. It's pretty neat. It doesn't really mean anything. Let's see what they're really doing. So, new name, new engine, new games, new philosophy. So basically, going in a new direction. Hey, if you're going to go in a new direction, obviously you need to see where you're trying to go and what kind of vehicle you want to ride to get to that new destination. So, it sounds like a good idea. Like, if you're going to go in a new direction, you can't just say, hey, if you're going to try and go across an ocean, you can't just keep using the same cart and horse, right? You got to change it up. You got to use maybe a ship. So, interesting. Let's see what they got. Read through this article. They also have a video, which I'll show off, and some pictures we can take a look at, talk about, see what kind of came out of this. I've just seen some people talk about it, or not talk about it, but that this happened. I didn't really look into this at all. So, yeah, let's see what's going on. And I guess my big question is, obviously, 343 Studios, now going to be called Halo Studios, was one of the four front Microsoft studios, and so far it looks pretty good. Just the top banner of this article, but obviously that is a pretty prominent studio there for Microsoft. It makes probably their I want to say baby, like, I don't want to say like their most important game, but it kind of is their most important game. So if Halo is crushing it, Microsoft and Xbox are crushing it. So let's see what we got. Ahead of the final match at today's 2024 Halo World Championship, we saw an unexpected video. It depicted landscapes you might expect from the Halo series. Forerunner architecture just jutting from dramatic landscapes inspired by the Pacific Northwest. Gorgeous fields of ice, even a vista blighted and consumed by the flood. We of course saw glimpses of the Master Chief and his iconic enemies, even a Banshee arcing past the camera. But what we saw wasn't a look back. This was something entirely new. Okay, we're entering a new dawn for Halo. Those new visuals were created using Unreal Engine 5, and we learned that all future Halo projects will use the engine, and that multiple new games using it are in development. I would say the key thing there, multiple new games using it are in development. So, all right, there you go. Alongside the engine change, the studio is seeing changes in culture, workflow, and how its teams are organized. To match that new approach, franchise stewards 343 Industries are changing their name. Halo Studios is here. So there you go. 343's changed their name to Halo Studios. So we got a little video here. I actually already loaded this over to YouTube, so let's check it out.
Chris Matthews, take one. Mark.
This is Casey Wu, take one. Mark.
I was told that I can just be my authentic self, Chris.
For 6 years, I don't want to be in front of a camera.
There's so much to do and so much fun to be had when you play Halo that I feel like I never run out of things to do.
I love intricate stories that take place across lots of different worlds, have lots of different meaningful characters. What made Halo successful at the beginning? What is the legacy of Halo and what's the soul that we want to bring forward? And what's the craft of making Halo games? And how do we set our studio at best to go deliver on that?
We knew we had to make a change in order to take us into the future.
When I first heard about Halo moving on Unreal Engine, my first thought was, this is going to be a really hard secret to keep.
I think fans are going to be excited about the future of Halo because of the possibilities that are afforded us by using Unreal.
Before, we really had to split our focus in thinking about building an engine, supporting it, being really kind of a tech company and a studio at the same time. Since we've made the change to shift to UE, we can bring Halo forward in ways that people have never seen before while still being true to what Halo is.
The Foundry project was an effort to show ourselves how far we can push things using Unreal 5.
Our new studio art director, Chris, came to me and said, hey, I have this crazy idea.
He said, hey, there's this thing called Project Foundry that I want to do. Let's make it happen.
Foundry specifically is based around the same concept of the Foundry in Halo lore. It's the place where Halo rings are born. It's not a game, it's a research project for our studio so we can prepare ourselves for the next steps of making Halo games.
The original Halo franchise was a graphics showcase. It was best in class. That's what Halo was when it first was released, and that's what Halo needs to be again.
So once Project Foundry had been approved, we took the entire creative team and we ideated on 3 locations, something old, something new, and something really alien.
We had the Pacific Northwest, which is sort of traditional Halo biome.
We were trying to shove as much foliage in there as humanly possible to make it really feel like you're on a hike in the, Cascades.
The Cold Lands, which was the second biome that we took on, it was more of a technical showcase where we could play with shaders, we could play with deformable landscapes and terrains. Unreal affords us more opportunity than we've ever had in the past.
On the surface, it might just look all like snow, but how many layers of things combine to really give that winter look?
And then our third biome was the Blightlands, which is any land that's been completely taken over by the flood.
I wanted to give our team the opportunity to really express an alien world, a really alien world, taking something way further than they may have actually done in previous Halo games.
What's impressed me about watching the Halo team work in Unreal is how beautiful everything looks, how incredible the environments look. I don't think we've seen anything quite like it in Unreal Engine before.
Fortunately, we have a studio that's really passionate about Halo, about the look and the feel, and I think there's a lot of hunger to really collaborate, to move forward together.
Foundry was an initiative that touched on every part of the creative process, everything from concept art, VFX, characters, vehicles, and weapons to make the future games of Halo.
Creating an asset, taking this design, now we can really dig into material foundations. What is it actually made of? How is it physically accurate to the world? Now we get to take all the wonderful legacy assets that we have, bring them to life, and bring them to today's standards.
We are really excited to be not just working on multiple projects, but also expanding our studio.
As a lifelong Halo player, I think the game's only going to get better when we get those new, unique perspectives and people bring in their expertise and passion for the Halo franchise.
We are looking for new talent as the projects that we're working on kind of get further and further into their development cycles.
And it is great to be part of a team that's growing because you can kind of see that force multiplied as people come in and take on challenges and you can do more.
Imagine a place where you have the commitment that this is what we want to do, Halo games, and create those experiences. And you can express your talent, your creativity, and your professional ambitions in that place.
We're looking for designers, we're looking for artists, we're looking for engineers.
It feels like a new beginning for the studio in a lot of ways, and I think that's pretty rare.
And I think we arrived now at a point where you see the beginnings of people to start to believe in the process.
There's so much momentum that we have right now and focus and clarity on not just what we're building, but why we're building and kind of this next phase of Halo.
The worlds that we're building, the stories that we're going after.
The potential at Halo right now is huge.
Halo Infinite was the last remnants of how we made Halo games in the past. That was our recipe. And what we are doing right now, we're changing that recipe.
Pretty impressive. It was pretty cool to show off some of the graphical stuff and different things like that. I guess my question is going to be, since they're going to like Unreal, like how far is that really going to go across a lot of the Microsoft different studios and stuff like that? Like Bethesda needs to get away from their creation engine. I think Starfield made that pretty apparent. Anyway, studio head Pierre Henze defines this less like a clean break and more like the turning of a page. If you really break down Halo, there have been two very distinct chapters. Chapter 1, Bungie. Chapter 2, 343 Industries. Now, I think we have an audience which is hungry for more, so we're not just going to try to improve the efficiency of development, but change the recipe of how we make Halo games. So we start a new chapter today. Very cool. All right, so let's see what else they got here. So the first step, switching from the studio's proprietary Slip Space engine to Unreal, is a key part of that change. Previously, 343 Industries needed a large portion of its staff simply to develop and upkeep the engine its games ran on. We believe that the consumption habits of gamers have changed the expectations of how fast their content is available, says Henze. I hope I'm getting that right. On Halo Infinite, we were developing a tech stack that was supposed to set us up for the future and games at the same time. As gaming evolves, and players increasingly point out how long it takes to see new games from their favorite series, the team at Halo Studios felt the need to react. As COO Elizabeth Van Wake puts it, the way we made Halo games before doesn't necessarily work as well for the way we want to make games for in the future. So part of the conversation we had was about how we help the team focus on making games versus making the tools and the engines. Okay, alongside the wider changes to how the studio is set up, which you can read more about below. Adopting Unreal means Halo Studio is more able to create games with a focus that can satisfy fans, even setting up multiple teams to create different games simultaneously. But Unreal also comes with inbuilt benefits that would have taken years of work to replicate with Slip Space. There you go. Respectfully, some components of Slip Space are almost 25 years old. Yeah, explained studio art director Chris Matthews. Although 343 were developing it continuously, there are aspects. All right, hold on. Although 343 were developing it continuously, there are aspects of Unreal that Epic has been developing for some time, which are unavailable to us in Slip Space and would have taken huge amounts of time and resources to try and replicate. Kind of curious what exactly he means by that. Looks pretty good. One of the primary things we're interested in is growing and expanding our world so players have more to interact with and more to experience. Nanite and Lumen, Unreal's rendering and lighting technologies, offer us an opportunity to do that in a way that the industry hasn't seen before. As artists, it's incredibly exciting to do work to do that work. There's another inbuilt benefit. Unreal is familiar to huge parts of the wider gaming industry, where developers would have to spend time learning how to use Slipspace when joining 343 Studios. Halo Studios' adoption of the industry-leading engine makes it a far smoother process to bring in new talent, and the studio is in need of hiring. So if you do want to go work on Halo or the next Halo games, there you go. Go sign up. Go submit your resume. So yeah, this is something that I've hit on before, especially like for Bethesda. Don't be like it is. You got to look and understand how a lot of different technologies work. Like take mobile phones for example. There's two main platforms. There's the iOS platform and there's the Android platform. Why is there Android platform compared to, Windows Phone died off, other mobile OSs died off, and the reason why is because everybody was developing for Android, and so Unreal is about to become that for the gaming world. People are familiar with huge parts of the wider gaming industry, so being able to hire someone, have them come in and be familiar right away, day one. They don't have to do these training seminars that probably take weeks to maybe months, depending upon, whatever, how steep the learning curve is, and it's like when you need someone to come in and help finish a project, because you're trying to get across the finish line. Well, the last thing you want to do is bring in someone and have to train them. Like if you're trying to finish a project in like the next 3-4 months, you don't have time to bring in somebody at all. And this is where, like in the case of Starfield, you definitely saw the limitations that Starfield has compared to other game engines that have been out there. And the loading screens are everywhere in Starfield, and that's that was the perfect game for Bethesda to kind of cut and turn the page, kind of like how they're talking about here. Just like, hey, let's just go in a new direction. Let's not be an engine building company. Let's be a game building company, right? And people talk about, oh, well, we save costs on having our own engine, but it's like, well, how much cost are you really saving? Because you have to pay people to develop that engine instead of develop games. You make money off of building games, not off of building engines. Unreal makes money off of building engines. Let them focus on that. So yeah, I think this is a really smart move. I think you'll probably see a lot more Microsoft studios do that. So awesome. It's not just about how long it takes to bring a game to market, but how long it takes for us to update the game, bring new content to players, adapt to what we're seeing our players want, says Van Wink. Part of that is in how we build the game, but another part is the recruiting. How long does it take to ramp somebody up to be able to actually create assets that show up in your game? Yes, with the move to Unreal, the on-ramp is shorter, the experience is there, and the series can grow far more quickly and organically than ever before. I think this is this will probably be a big time. This will be a great move forward for Halo, and probably you're going to see a lot more Microsoft Studios definitely going this way. Forging ahead. Of course, Halo Studios needed to be confident in the switch to Unreal. This isn't a decision taken lightly. The team had to be sure that the first Halo games to come out of a non-Slipspace engine would look, feel, and sound right. The team began experimenting, and it resulted in a research project known as Project Foundry, the source for all the new clips we saw today. When we decided to do Foundry, it wasn't at that point in our plan. Hold on, let me reread that. When we decided to do Foundry, it wasn't at that point in our plan, says Van Wink, but we needed to pause and validate is not the right word, but educate and understand what our capability is and assess it so we actually know we're on the right path. We've intentionally been really quiet up to this point, but I think today is about sharing where we are, what our priorities are as a studio, and where the team is. We're really proud of what came out of Foundry. So yeah, and I remember like a year or two ago, sometime in the past like year or two or something like that, there was some reports. They were very not like big time concrete reports, but you were hearing some things about possibilities of Microsoft studios possibly moving over to Unreal, and this Foundry might have been kind of the initial talks of that. So sounds pretty interesting. So what does Foundry represent? The team is clear that this is not a new game, but nor is it a traditional tech demo. It isn't just an exploration of what's possible with this engine. It's a true reflection of what would be required for a new Halo game using Unreal, and a training tool for how to get there. Foundry has been made with the same rigor, process, and fidelity as a ship game would be. So basically this demo that you're seeing is all Foundry. Okay. Where this type of work has been done historically across the industry, it can contain a lot of smoke and mirrors, explains Matthews. It sometimes leads players down the path where they believe it's going to be one thing and then something else happens. The ethos of Foundry is vigorously the opposite of that. Everything we've made is built to the kind of standards that we need to build for the future of our games. We were very intentional about not stepping into tech demo territory. We built things that we truly believe in, and the content that we've built, or at least a good percentage of it, could travel anywhere inside our games in the future if we so desire. Hence, goes further. It's fair to say that our intent is to the majority of what we showcase in Foundry is expected to be in projects which we are building or future projects. So it's actually kind of cool to hear that, we didn't just make this to kind of mess around with it. Like, we made this to, we could put this out there as a game, and that's what we wanted to kind of showcase and try to build for it. I mean, that's pretty cool. It's a good mindset to kind of have. And what we've seen of Foundry promises incredible things. Named after the Foundry within Halo's lore, the central forge of the megastructure used to create the Halo rings themselves, the project saw the team set out to create 3 distinct biomes in the style of Halo. The goal was, as Matthews puts it, to make something old, something new, and something truly alien. For something old, we see a biome inspired by the Pacific Northwest, a staple of the series, but in a dramatic new form. Waterfalls crash over the mountains, a running creek becomes the site of a tableau pitching the chief against 2 Covenant elites, and the team pushed Unreal to include as much foliage as technically possible. There you go. Okay. They're pushing limits here. For something new, we can see the cold lands location in a region locked in a deep freeze with snowdrifts covering plateaus and an ice reflecting what's above and refracting what's below. And for something alien, we see the bright lands, a bright new take on Halo location, a world consumed by the parasitic flood. The express purpose of the Blightlands was to see how this new Halo team could push the world itself further farther than previous Halo games. The results speak for themselves. Yeah, the game looked very impressive, but that is not the only thing that matters in a game. It's got to feel and perform really good. Even the familiar look. Give me a sec. Jesus. Freaking long ass article, man. Just about changing a damn name on a studio and engine. All right. Even the familiar looks new in Foundry. The Chief's armor has been modeled with extreme care down to individual panels on his combat gloves. An elite's energy sword now feels less like a solid object and more reflective of the name, a crackling swoosh of dangerous energy. The aim wasn't just to push the studio, but the engine itself. Foundry is designed to do things that we haven't seen in games and using Unreal across the industry. Halo began its life as a graphical showcase for the original Xbox. The goal is to make that so again. Halo Studios has worked closely with Unreal's creators, Epic Games, to ensure they can reach that lofty goal. Halo is such an incredible franchise, and it's awesome to see Halo Studios already pushing the boundaries of Unreal Engine 5, said Bill Clifford, Vice President and General Manager of Unreal Engine at Epic Games. We're honored to support the Halo team in realizing their creative vision through Unreal Engine. Project Foundry's work demonstrates how they can bring Halo to life with beautiful, detailed, uncompromised worlds. Of course, the soul of Halo isn't just how it looks, but how it feels. There we go. The intrinsic dance of its combat, the thud of the weapons, and the sense that you're inhibiting the Master Chief's armor. While Foundry may be a primary visual project, Halo Studios is deeply investing in retaining the essence of what players love about Halo. I think it's pretty well known that switching engine... Hold on. Man. Bracket. I don't know. I don't know if... that threw me off there. I think it's pretty well known that switching engine has been a topic that the studio has thought about for a long, long time, says Van Week. The release of Unreal Engine 5 was when we felt like we could make Halo games that respect and reflect the true soul of Halo while also being able to build games that can deliver on the scale and ambition of content that players want. Okay, the spirit of Halo is more than just the visuals, agrees Matthews. The lore, its physics, playing as the Master Chief, you're this huge tank of a soldier. It's the way that he moves, he feels. We're all really obsessed about what our players love about Halo. We're constantly listening to this feedback, and that's at the core of any initiative like Foundry or any intention that the studio has about how we move forwards. We're thinking about this, and hold on, wait, what? We're thinking about the intangibles, Hints adds, the interaction with the Master Chief or your Spartan or the enemies. We are very careful about the decision we're making in that space, down to the precision and authenticity of the weapons, the authenticity of the animations. There are a list of nuances which we use to verify that we're on track. Beyond the visor. So let's talk about what's coming from Beyond Foundry. As you might expect, the team isn't talking about exactly what those new games will be right now. We're at the beginning of this new chapter, not the final stages, and it's fair to say that a new Halo game isn't imminent. Halo Infinite will still be supported through the Slipspace engine. You can expect more operations and updates to its Forge mode. In esports, year 4 of the Halo Championship Series using Halo Infinite has just been announced, but in the background, the next steps for Halo will be taken. Interesting. So we're not, so far we haven't gotten any possible timeline or anything like that. The quietness is by design, hence makes clear that the priority right now is on, what the freak? That sounds so weird. The quietness is by design, hence makes clear that the priority right now is on doing the work, not simply talking about it. One of the things I really wanted to get away from was the continued teasing out of possibilities and must-haves. We should do more and say less. For me, I really think it is important that we continue the posture which we have right now when it comes to our franchise, the level of humility, the level of certitude towards Halo fans. We should talk about things when we have things to talk about at scale. Today, it's the first step. We're showing the Foundry because it feels right to do so. We want to explain our plans to Halo fans and attract new passionate developers to our team. The next step will be talking about the games themselves. Yeah, it seems like this is definitely like to get out there. Like, how do you do recruiting and put out there and, you know, job titles like, hey, we're recruiting for Unreal. Like, obviously that would basically say, hey, Halo's going to be using Unreal. So you got to get it out there. And obviously they want to show off what they have to show off and not just, hey, we want to use Unreal and say that, yeah, we haven't been doing anything with it, right? Because if you're wanting to, oh, that sounds kind of interesting, but like, am I going to be building all this out by myself? And obviously not. So obviously that's pretty good to show out. Like, hey, we are messing around with this. We are doing stuff with this. You're not going to be by yourself. We've already been messing around with it. I think that's pretty good. It's pretty good to market. They're not trying to market to gamers right now. I think they're just trying to work, kind of get out there and market to potential employees. Like, hey, if you've worked with Unreal 5, this could be a pretty good opportunity for you if you've ever also wanted to work on Halo. So there you go. What is clear is that, yes, it's Halo games, plural, in development right now, where Halo Infinite saw practically the entire studio focus on a single evolving project. Halo Studios has recalibrated. We had a disproportionate focus on trying to create the conditions to be successful in serving Halo Infinite, says Heinz, but switching to Unreal allows us to put all the focus on making multiple new experiences at the highest quality possible. This statement shows, like, hey, you know what? Let's give up the money on the engine development and maintaining side. Let's not focus on that. Let's just focus on projects, getting projects out the door. Because that's where they make their money. If you're not getting projects out the door, you're not bringing in money. Right? It's like, hey, now we don't have to worry about maintaining. We can worry about just game development. So that's pretty awesome. I have no idea about game development. No idea how much it takes to maintain these engines and improve them or whatever, but I'm sure it's not easy, and especially if you're trying to add in new features, and I'm sure it's quite a task to keep up. A major part of the shift has been in reorganizing the structure of Halo Studios as a whole in order to give development teams what they need to make something new. At the end of the day, if we build the games that our players want to play, that's how we'll be successful, explains Van Wyck. That's what should motivate what we build. That's also what this structure has done. We want the people that are day in, day out making the games to be the ones to make the decisions on the games. Okay. The teams will also be seeking more input from outside the studio on those decisions. We're seeking earlier and earlier, wider and wider feedback from our players. She continues, we started that with the Master Chief Collection and carried that on with the Halo Infinite. And we want to do it even more for our next project. At the end of the day, it's not just how do we evaluate, it's how do our players evaluate it. 343 Industries was founded to create Halo games, but the impression I get is that in its new incarnation as Halo Studios, the studio has been retooled to put the focus entirely on that goal without distraction, without impediment, to create better games with players' hopes and wishes at the heart of the endeavor. You asked why we consider this a new chapter, Heinz said. We want a singular focus. Everyone in this place is here to make the best possible Halo games. Pretty cool. Yeah. So there's some pretty good stuff there. Obviously the game and the images that they show off, I mean, it looks fantastic. It looks like it looks like Halo and Unreal Engine 5. So, obviously they did talk about, trying to get the experience, the feel of it right. And that's like, if you go back to previous, like the OG Halo games, Halo always felt really good to play. And it was fun because it felt really good. I think it's smart. And you're going to probably, I mean, this is just one game developer with a very popular game, has a huge brand recognition. Even you know, whether you've played it or not, like you've heard of Halo, and it is one that it should be always pushing the boundaries, right? It should be pushing the boundaries. So, yeah, I mean, this seems like a pretty good movement in that direction. Like some of these visuals look really good, but I've never seen anything not look good in Unreal Engine 5. It's going to be like, how much can you really dial in the feel of it? Can it feel like Halo from previous Halo titles? And that's probably going to be the main thing. Can you get it to feel like Halo? So we'll see. I think you'll probably continue to see, though, and I was just about to mention this, other game studios probably move in the direction of not maintaining their own engine, and you'll probably see them continue to move in the direction of outsourcing the engine and just focus on game development, because engine development is proven to be costly and time consuming, as well as trying to keep up with making the best quality games. Like, game development cycles are getting much longer. And if you hear a lot of these game developers talk about these game development cycles, they talk a lot about upgrading engines. I get, and it's costly. It's going to be a hard pill to swallow, especially like if you look at Bethesda and what they just did with Starfield. And they just did a major rework with Creation Engine, but you know, that game, like in Starfield, there's so many loading screens, and there's a huge disconnect from when you're traveling. It kind of just, it's an immersion breaking thing for me. And I'm not going to go down a Starfield rabbit hole, but it just definitely kind of shows the limitations of an engine. And it's one, if you just focus on developing for your game and not having to worry about the engine, that will be one that is, it's much more beneficial, because you can just focus on game development. And the thing is the more game developers that use Unreal Engine, the more game developers are going to be pressured to use Unreal Engine. Okay, so this will probably continue to happen. You'll see more developers probably continue to go this way, because it's like, I don't need to focus on it. I don't need to focus on it, and I don't want to focus on it. And it's going to be hard to recruit. And that's going to be the other thing. It's just going to be hard to recruit. The more Unreal Engine is used by the industry, it's going to be so damn hard to recruit. Because nobody's going to want to go to your studio and have to learn your custom engine. Whatever the name of your engine is that you're developed at your studio. Like, people are like, I know Unreal Engine. I'm very familiar with it. I would rather go work on projects that use Unreal Engine. So Epic Games is doing some things really smart as far as like getting Unreal Engine out there, as kind of making it a little bit more of the industry standard, and doing pretty good. So there you go. Anyways, Halo Studios is the new thing. It's now replaced 343. Cool. That is cool. All right, anything else? What else do we want to talk about? I can't believe it took me 40 minutes to get through that freaking article, man. Holy crow, that was long. I need a nap. I need a nap. So did y'all see the Jets fired fired their coach this morning? By the way, my fantasy team lost. A freaking piece of crap fantasy league sucks. Yeah, the Jets fired Robert Salah. Crazy. What else is going on out there? As far as gaming goes, I know Civ had a live stream today, but they just showed off Tecumseh. We already knew that was coming. Oh, we got a new video. Hold up.
October 8th.
Somebody want to revive?
It's crazy. You can totally tell the difference between what we were just seeing on the Unreal Engine kind of Halo demo and this. It just, the graphical difference already looks, it's just kind of crazy. Like this environmental shot. Yeah, it's just, yeah. I think it's gonna be a smart move moving to Unreal Engine 5. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyways, moving on. What do we got? Very cool that they are doing that. What else is there? I don't really saw that
I bring a gift, reborn through extinction. Risen, I scorn.
A new species of scorn are hunting Elixni across the system.
Once he finds it, it's too late. Vicral must be stopped.
Stand against those who would cast us into ruin. Defend our people. But against the dead, killing is not enough. I name you Slayer Baron. Carve a future for the living from the bones of the dead. We are beyond death.
Cannot imagine. Cannot tell you how much that does not make me want to hop into freaking what is it, Destiny 2? You know what? See what's going on in the Twitter world. Oh. Yeah. Did y'all see this? Did y'all see this? And then, oh yeah, what is all
The so-called
Mayor
the so-called
Johnson say?
exports. Then the so-called exports. The so-called fiscally responsible stewards are making the same argument when our people wanted to be liberated and emancipated in this country. The argument was, you can't free black people because it would be too expensive. They said that it would be fiscally irresponsible for this country to liberate black people. And now you have detractors making the same argument of the Confederacy when it comes to public education in this system. Then the so-called...
Yeah. I like how my man here is like, you gotta be fiscally responsible, and links it to, it's just like, dude, you're literally in your city. You're literally raising a terrorist flag up buildings, my man. All right. What else? Oberman. Oh, is he pissing and moaning about something? Deport Elon Musk. Dude. Oh, man.
Time to cancel all the contracts and reassess his immigration status and hopefully deport him the hell out of the country. And if we can't do that by conventional means, President Biden, you have presidential immunity. Get Elon Musk the F out of our country and do it now. Time to...
So it's kind of funny. Why don't you say that about the illegals that, you know, your party has allowed in here? The 10 to 20 million illegals. We don't even know the number because all we have is estimates because it's so high. And you know what? Elon Musk has done way more for this country than you have or the Democratic Party. You're a freaking joke. That's why you're not even on TV anymore. Anyways, that's what Overman's bitching about. Hold on, Loganek? Is this the shipping thing? Or is this meh. Music. MF Doom. To everyone. I don't even know what TUI is, but hey, y'all have fun with that. The irony if that thing crashed. Trump is full of hate and his threat to the LGBT, and it doesn't go as planned. Hold on, what? So Ellen gets called out. I like it when Ellen gets called out. So Ellen posted this on IG, on Instagram. Some picture. You can't tell someone you love them and then vote for someone who will hurt them. Ellen DeGeneres, this is beyond politics. It's about love and inclusion versus hate and violence. Who's hating and violence at? Interesting. So here's some of the comments back, and this is why this is a video, because they're gonna scroll through the comment section here. I'm gay and I'm voting for Trump. Do I hate myself? Absolutely not. Messages like this are what spreads hate. Way to call out the hypocrisy. Nobody's hurting anybody. You celebs need to stop with this brainwashing shit. So I'm gay. Trump never hurt me or any of the gays. He only hurt some of the fragile, weak feelings of some of the gays. But you know, people love to always play victim. Yeah, it's amazing how that works, right? When you play the victim and you get attention, I'm gonna keep playing the victim. Just like that one lady that sued the allegations to sue Trump. That Jean Carroll lady. She's playing rape victim like dozens of times. Sigh. I love you, Ellen, but I saw more hate when Donald Trump's first assassination. Yeah, tongue tie. Sigh. I love you, Ellen, but I saw more hate when Donald Trump's first assassination attempt wasn't successful. Democrats have no business talking hate. Damn. That's right, because remember, after the first assassination attempt, a lot of them damn Democrats came out there and were like, oh, too bad he missed, blah, 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 try again. Next time, get someone better. Like, good God, man, y'all need to get mentally health checked. Yeah, take your trans people with you to those mental health clinics. So don't vote for Kamala then, Trump 2024. Basically just reverse what this person says. Yep, pretty much. As a lesbian, I had more under Trump. He's got my vote. Flame. Fire. Blacks for Trump. Stop being brainwashed. Ugh, you're wrong and you're spreading hate. Trump 2024. What did Trump do to hurt you from 2016 to 2020? That's a great question. I would like someone to answer. 2016 to 2020. What did he do to hurt you? Did he touch you in your special place? Mayor Bear Life says, as someone in the TPA Bay Area, Kamala doesn't give a fuck about America. She won't even help the hurricane relief for us Americans, yet gives billions to other countries. Homes, cars, pets, lives gone. She offered $750, which is nothing, and even still, some requested it and got denied. Didn't know about that. There you go. Late breaking news. Don't try to say this woman loves any of us. Things got real personal. Ooh. So, vote Trump is what I'm seeing. Proud of the comments. Trump 2024. You're so right, Ellen. That's why I'm voting Trump. He is for America, not against it. Is this really just all Trump support? Jesus. Like, is there a filter on? Can you filter, like, IG comments? Like, I don't know how you would. I'm not on Instagram. I don't want to be. I'm only on X. That's about it. And YouTube, because I'm talking to you right now. Trump 2024, it's about keeping our country safe for future generations. I'm so tired of hearing how he's hateful and a threat to democracy, corrupt media at its finest, and these celebs who think they know anything about middle class. Please be quiet. Yeah, that's very true. They've never had to eat a grilled cheese sandwich in a long time. I'm kidding. They probably have had grilled cheese. Really fine breads, really fine cheeses. Trump isn't for hate or division of our country and wants to be better for America. This post does nothing but bring more divide. I thought you were better than that, Ellen. Who the hell would ever think Ellen was better than that? No. I'm gay and I'm voting Trump. Do I hate myself? Absolutely not. Messages like this are what spreads hate. It's crazy how many people are seeing and actually just listening to the different side, to both sides. Just listen to both sides, and you'll hear who has more hate. Nobody's hurting anyone. You celebs need to just stop brainwashing bullshit. So I'm gay. That's not me saying it. I'm reading. I know Dan's gonna come back at me like, bro, too much information. TMI. No, I'm reading someone's post. So I'm gay. Trump never hurt me or any of the gays. He only hurt some of the fragile, weak feel. So is some of this just repeated? So some of this just is it cycling back to the front now? Is that what's going on? Because that's like a repost. Jesus. That's crazy. Crazy. All right, what else? Who radicalized you? No one. You're so far left that you don't even... you're so far left that you've been brainwashed to think I'm radical. It's pretty funny. Happening right now, FEMA. This isn't Kamala Harris's FEMA. Tonight, these regular everyday Americans are working through the night to make bridges for Hurricane Helene victims out of downed telephone poles and trees. This is work by Real American that you won't see reported by the media. I'm sorry, I was also trying to watch the video. Yeah, that's pretty damn cool. He's literally taking the cat across. Is he trying to pack it in? He might be trying to pack it in. I wonder if they're trying to just make a walking path. Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. The election integrity lawyer from for the Republican Party in Arizona, Corey Langhofer, has resigned. This means that 3 days before mail-in ballots are dropping in Arizona, the Arizona GOP and Trump team don't have a lawyer to fight election fraud in Arizona. Why the freak did you resign? Who got to you, bud? Hold on. Is there more to that post? Oh, there was. Oh, my gosh. I told Corey resigned today, and his resignation will go into effect Wednesday, tomorrow. The same day that early voting begins in Arizona, he resigned because he's unwilling to file a lawsuit over 218,000 confiscated U.S. citizen illegal alien voters that Adrian Fontes, the anti-Trump Democrat Secretary of State in Arizona, has refused to remove from the voter rolls. It's worth noting that Langhofer served as litigation counsel for Mitt Romney's 2012 presidential campaign. He also served as general counsel for Carly Fiorina's 2016 presidential campaign when she ran against Donald Trump. In other words, he's a total rhino who should have never been chosen to represent Donald Trump or the AZ GOP, and GOP in Arizona is a major problem and needs to be resolved ASAP. Yeah, I'm sure there'll probably be another attorney kind of gets in there. He's someone that wants a coattail. He wants a coattail to success. He doesn't want to like work hard for it, dude. If you go in there and you do this lawsuit against 210,000 illegal voters, and you won that, dude, Yeah. You'd be looking pretty good. Michigan judge ruled against Democrats Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson for instructing clerks to count mail-in ballots without verification. Even Benson admitted that her actions could lead to fraud. Oh, wow. Shocking. Oh, man, Dad, have you seen this hurricane? So it was like up to like a really strong 5 last night. This morning it got downgraded to like a 4. This guy says, all right, we'll just listen to him. He ain't even been talking that long.
You know what's crazy? I've been voting Democrat since I was 18. I'm 49 now. And I've been expecting different result. Doing the same thing for 18 years, expecting a different result. Till I realized something. I was insane. You know why? Because I kept doing the same thing, expecting a different result. You know, so as of last year, I'm registered Republican.
Wow.
My cousin asked me, he said, why you not voting Democrat this year? I said, what you think, I'm insane? Not no more.
Dude, first off, way to be aware, and second of all, I mean, good for you. Way to actually make your own decision. You know, see that things haven't changed. They said things would change. Things haven't changed. Just continue to go work hard, man. Go do your thing, and hopefully you just get a better life going forward. All you got to do is work for a better life, man. You'll get there. Just keep doing it. Be smart. Check this out. I was thinking about bringing this up. So let me find it. It might take me a second. I had it somewhere. What the freak? So, all right. This is kind of crazy. But these are, this is an article from, man, what is this from? Visualize Capitalism. I love this website. They do some pretty good job about breaking down a lot of economic data and stuff. Very good. They actually do a pretty good job of putting in graphical design. So it's one of the things that's really nice because it's really good to see a lot of information for whatever they're trying to show off and stuff like that. It's not always just about the U.S. Sometimes it's just about different things around the world. But this one is kind of the scale of the hardest working states. And what's really kind of interesting is you can see, well, the middle of America is basically among the hardest working states. Obviously, 30 is down to the less or the lower end, 70 is the higher end. And you see Alaska is actually the hardest working state, I do believe, right? Yeah, it looks like Alaska is it with a score of 64. So there you go. Oh, no, you got North Dakota 67. So you got North Dakota 67, Alaska 64, and you got several 60s in here in the middle, mid-continent. You got Texas at 57. But at the lower end, what do you see? You see California 38 in the 30s. Nevada, 37. Oregon, 38. Washington, 40. New Mexico, 35. Arizona, 41. New York, 34. Like, that might be the lowest score. Is New York. Huge don't even do anything state. No, West Virginia. I'm sorry. Where they make crack and cocaine. West Virginia here. 32. Crazy. Michigan also 34. Illinois 38. What's really kind of interesting in that is when you look with this map, which this is the average IQ score by state. And when you look at this map, the lower end 94, the higher end 105. What do you see? Well, the middle part of the country has higher IQ scores. Also, some spots up here in the Northeast, some of those states. But you have a lot of high scores here in the Mid-Con, and then some of the lower scores on kind of the West Coast over there. So it's great. It's crazy. A lot of those, liberal, we're smart states. We're smart. We're educated. Pinky out, by the way. Well, this would say that y'all don't work hard, y'all don't do shit, and y'all aren't smart. So there you go. Maybe y'all should work on some things. Maybe what you're doing is not working. And it just kind of goes to show the best way to get educated is just go work. Just go work. You will figure out how things work, how things kind of run. And there you go. I thought these were pretty good. Massachusetts 104. Oof. That's not really fair, right? 104.3. I think that's the highest, but they have like MIT. And there's another there's another really smart university over there in Massachusetts, but yeah. There you go. Massachusetts. Remember, it's all about keeping you dumb until you realize that they lied to you. And by then, you're just about to die anyways. And the cycle repeats. Oh yeah, did you see this? Check this out. I think this is UK. Hits this baby. By the way.
Allez-vous-en. Puta malparida. La próxima la van a cara. Mais il est malade.
Bruh. Be glad that wasn't in the US, my man. That's how weak UK people are. They just let this immigrant hit this kid, and they just walk away. Plug that dude a few times, man. Plug that dude. I don't even know how you let that happen. That is fucking disgraceful. This is why you don't let in illegals. This is why. They hate you. They hate everything you stand for. You don't even realize it. Oh, did y'all see? Let me see if I can find this. Oh, hold on. Oh, I'm not. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this. I did, right? I did save it. I don't know if I saved it. I don't think it's this far back. It definitely wasn't that far back. Oh, shoot. I didn't save it. Dang. Alright. I didn't save it. Dang it. Oh, yeah. Did y'all see this? Y'all remember when we had to negotiate for Brittany Griner when she was in Russia? When they attacked Ukraine, they arrested her. And we negotiated for her, and we gave up this guy. I forget his name. What's his name? He's called the Merchant of Death. Victor Bout. Well, he just sold $10 million in arms to the terrorists in the Middle East. Yeah, we knew that was going to happen. By the way, if you were smart, you knew that was going to happen. Because that's his whole life. He's done that. He's sold arms to militias and civil war armies and all throughout the Middle East and Africa. And $10 million in arms to the Houthis in the Middle East. There you go. Very, very cool. And Brittany Griner does nothing. She does nothing for us. All right, man. Hold on. I need to also do this. Tell you what. I'm gonna do this. All right. I need to change around this thing. Ugh, I really don't want to. Starfield is going away. I kind of want to add in Briggs, Max. Let me Tech news, there we go. No, great channel. Oh my gosh, how, oh shit, how do you, that is not what I wanted to do. Is it category? Ah, it is. There it is. That's what I was looking for. I'm gonna delete this. Delete channel. There we go. And I want to move this under that. You know what? Actually, should have just left it. So there's that. I'm gonna trash all of this. Edit. I'm just gonna edit this to we'll call this politics. politics. We are changing some shit up, bud. Edit. Oh my god, I gotta delete all these manually like this. Jesus. I'm gonna keep. Ridiculous. General. There we go. Media. Yeah. There we go. Save. Oh my gosh. Create event. So gaming news. Media. There we go. There we go. Oh, sports. Let me add in. There we go. Okay. That is kind of how I wanted to put stuff. Anyways, I'll leave that there for now. I need to change the server name. Server settings. Okay. I also need to change my stuff. Anyways, wanted to do that. So I got a few other things I need to go do. So I'm going to end it there because I got a few other things to clean up, especially on my account. And we'll have stuff to talk about tomorrow. But I just want to get that done. Appreciate everybody for hanging out, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.